All right, got another one for you guys. This is coming from Bounding Into Comics. Data mining suggests Amazon Games plans to censor Western release of Bandai Namco MMO Blue Protocol. So yet another accusation against Amazon for censoring an Eastern title for Western audiences by effectively going all puritanical with the models and quote unquote sexualizing these very, very minor things just to, in my opinion, appear to appeal to the body positivity types, the woke types. At least that's my opinion. They don't actually come out and say that, but it does seem like that's the case with Amazon. They seem to be pushing this very hard these days. They don't seem to understand that we just want to play the game as it was intended. We don't want all this extra stuff on top, because if they do it here, they're going to do it a million other places. And before you know it, all of these characters are not going to sound or act like their originally intended forms, and they're all going to be preaching all this woke stuff, because that's what's going to happen. They're going to end up basically westernizing the whole game and losing the appeal of that original title. I mean, if it's one thing to censor models, but I can see them taking this to the next level and start censoring the actual context of the game, the actual plot, the actual dialogue. And as soon as they start doing that in any sufficient manner, it's going to lose all of its appeal for the Western audiences, because they don't want to play an Americanized woke RPG. They want to play the Japanese RPG, or in the previous case, the Korean RPG. So if you're not familiar, I had covered an earlier version of Amazon censoring another MMO called Lost Ark, a Korean MMO, where they did the same thing. Their excuse was, oh, well, the artist class looks very young, and so we didn't want to over-sexualize it. So they, did the same thing. And you can actually see that in this screenshot here. You can see the Japanese and U.S. versions are very different, and this is coming from a data mining effort done against the pre-released version. So it's kind of speculative as to how this is actually going to get used, but it looks like this is going to be the case, that this is the westernized version. So the Japanese version, it's got, if you're not paying attention to the screen, it's got a character model there with the midriff showing and a short skirt, and then the US version has a longer shirt that covers the midriff, and then instead of the skirt, there's like basically these big puffy shorts and leggings to cover the legs almost down below the knee. Same thing in the second character model. Midriff was showing for the Japanese version, and fairly short skirt-like thing with leggings, and then the US version has the longer shorts that are ballooned out more, and the shirt that covers the midriff. So you can see that they're adapting these models specifically for the U.S. audience. I mean, these are modifications that are not present in the Japanese version, in the original version. So you can't you would imagine that this is how they're going to go with this. And in fact, they actually did confirm this with the German version, that it's not new news for the German version. The lead guy there actually even was on record that saying that there's going to be a few minor differences between the Japanese and Western versions of the game. They're trying to shoot for a quote-unquote team rating so that people can play together. So this is probably part of that, just trying to cover all their bases. And you can also see just below here, there's a really interesting there's an interesting statement made from the head of marketing of Amazon Games, Sarah Anderson, on their approach to Korean and Japanese games. How much do you localize those games for the West? There's a lot of decisions that have to be made. Anderson told VentureBeat in February 2023, is it just language, or are you actually adapting the culture and changing the content? And it looks like they're adapting the culture and changing the content. Like I said, people don't want to play that. They want to play the Japanese version. And apparently, these people are not understanding, these Amazon execs are not understanding that if they go too far with this, it's going to lose the attraction of the people that want to play these games, because they want to see a Japanese game. I mean, JRPG is a thing. That's because it is Japanese. They have a different perspective on their creative process. They have a different perspective on culture and art and concepts. And the Western audiences don't play those games to see a Western perspective. They want to see the Japanese perspective. They want to see the Korean perspective, and the Korean perspective is different from the Japanese perspective. And they, these are things these are elements of these games that need to be present for them to actually sell in this country. And they don't seem to understand that that's their selling point. It's not a problem to not be Westernized. It's a problem to be Westernized, because then you're just competing with Western RPGs. And to be honest, Western companies are going to do a better job making Western RPGs than Japanese companies or Korean companies. And they're certainly going to do a much better job of Amazon trying to adapt a Korean or a Japanese MMO to be Westernized. So they're losing the plot here big time. And I think this is a big mistake that Amazon is making. But it wouldn't be the first that Amazon Games has made. I mean, look at their engine, look at their past record with games, and it's no surprise that, they're appeasing the woke crowd and they don't care, because apparently losing money is a fashionable trend for them or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's about all I got for this. Let me know what you think about these guys censoring all this stuff in these games. Are you a big, Japanese or Korean MMO player? Are you kind of pissed that this is happening? I mean, it's been a while since I've played a Korean MMO or a Japanese MMO for that matter, but I was big into them many years ago, and I had a bunch of friends that played them too, and that's why I was into it. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, and if you like these rambling videos from the perspective of an indie dev, subscribe to the channel, and I will talk to you guys later.